A very, very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE, and we are, of course, live on the big one. We're live on Facebook Live, and we're live on YouTube, and we're live on TikTok. So welcome, 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 I say. Lovely to have you with us. And just let everybody know what is what. This is the big one. It's the internet phone-in. And it's Monday night. Nothing gets past me, of course. And you can see the number across the bottom of your screen. So I hope you'll do your best to call in and to get in touch with us and put your point. Very, very important. Put your point succinctly, of course. Follow us as soon as you come on. Very, very important. If you haven't done so, then subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching TikTok, you'll see it on the TikTok bio. Everybody with an internet connection should be following Scottie McCLUE on TikTok, should be subscribed to the Scottie McCLUE YouTube channel, and should be watching us also on Facebook Live. Tremendous stuff. That's what it's all about. To the telephones as quickly as possible. You're live on Scottie's phone-in. Who is that? Hello? Can you hear me? You're live on Scottie's phone-in. DINKY-DOO? Hello? DINKY-DOO?
It's Martin. How are you, son?
Hello, Martin. How are you, La?
How are you?
Yes, very well. Well done for getting on tonight.
First time on.
First time on. Good for you. Excellent stuff. That means that you'll not have to worry about not getting through.
I know, I'm glad.
Good. And what's happening with you?
That was a lovely thing you had on Sunday, or that remembrance service. That's lovely.
Oh, the remembrance service. Did you like it, Martin?
Yeah.
It was very good of you to call in. It was very much appreciated.
I know, you were fantastic.
There we are, yes. And I also uploaded the TikTok as well, Martin, because I felt the YouTube, I was too close to the camera. You know what I mean? So what you'll notice, I don't know if you've got YouTube, but you'll see we're a little bit further back tonight.
Yes.
So that's quite good. That's excellent.
Did you hear the Queen didn't attend because she had a back injury?
Yes, she'd strained her back. So I was very sorry about that. And I was noticing some people today were very, very cheeky about the Queen on social media. So I had to put them right. And when you inform these idiots, one of them was saying, I think you should do a little research. So I just told them I'd done 50 years of research.
Wow.
So there you are. How interesting, isn't it? Now, there's Princess Diggy. Princess Diggy, you can do better than that. You're effectively just a wee TikTok troll. So get your act together and start putting sensible things out. Okay. God save our queens as every day. DINKY-DOO, Scottie just got a book on Glencoe, says Martiman. Interesting, Glencoe. Do you know much about Glencoe, Martin?
No.
The massacre of Glencoe, very interesting. Anyway, that's for another story. I want to know how you are.
I'm very, very well. But the thing I was telling you about is I was in New York for my 21st about 2 years ago.
Wonderful.
I went there, and I am 38.
Wow, Martin, yes. And you had a birthday. You had a birthday last week.
Yes. Then, when I got back from New York 4 days later,
yes,
the Twin Towers got blown up.
Oh my goodness me, Martin! I wished we'd had your call on our phone-in because we had a lady whose son had a meeting at 9 o'clock at the World Trade Center, and his metro got stuck. The tube got stuck.
Wow.
Yes, so there we are. David Stewart, that's not very polite. I think we'll say bye-bye to you. There we are. We'll say bye-bye to David because he's a troll. There he goes, down the Swanee, Martin. I'm having to send these people down the Swanee for cheeking up.
Yeah. My day's been good today. I've just been shopping today. I've got my dog here today.
Oh, lovely, Martin. Wee Scooter on Facebook says, I'll never forget that day.
Yes.
On TikTok, sorry, I beg your pardon. Wee Scooter on TikTok says, I'll never forget that day.
I know, it was very, very devastating because that was shocking that a plane crashed right into the side of the Twin Towers and blown up. And there was a fire inside public toilets got satellite in Ardrossan today. There was 3 fire engines, there was 3 ambulances, there was 3 police cars, and there was a fire investigation unit.
Oh
but
my
we don't know what
goodness.
the cause was, but the cause might be arson, or it could be some silly kids playing stupid games by satellite to it.
Oh my goodness, Martin. There's a guy asking about my religion, so we'll send him down the Swanee. He says, are you Muslim? Guy called Casey, so we'll just send him down the Swanee. Another half-wit. Yeah. There he goes. Amazing how the half-wits don't understand. You never, ever, ever, ever troll Scottie McCLUE.
How often do you get trolls in? Do you get them in a lot?
No, just occasionally they'll pop up because they do it everywhere. They can't handle a big talk show like this, so they just ask stupid questions. They waste their opportunity. Therefore, there's no point in them being on.
Mm-hmm. So you're very, very smart tonight with your blue jumper on. And
your thank you, Martin. Yes, that's very, very kind of you.
And this is my 7th winning streak now. 7 times now I've done.
7 times? What have you done? Been on first?
No, first time.
Ah, well, you've got no complaints at all, Martin.
No, not at all.
You've got nothing to complain about. You've done very well.
I know, but plus a friendship for an ends growing as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. There's somebody on TikTok going, you can't be trolling Scottie.
No, you can't. No.
You just can't.
There's someone saying that, by the way, it's 1-0 to Scotland. Can hardly believe it.
All right, who are they playing?
BTW, I don't know who they're playing. It's 1-0 to Scotland.
Right, well, whoever it is, I think what we need to do, I was furious again tonight. I went to watch my favourite soap, and it was football. And I thought, we don't want this rubbish. We want our soap operas. This is a disgrace. So what I think we need to do is, ban football on the telly unless it's on a dedicated sports channel.
Yeah, like Sky Sports or that.
Well, we'll not advertise channels, but a dedicated sports channel.
Yes.
So there we are. Incredible.
I know.
A better dash, Martin, or Riverdale will be doing their nut.
I know, buddy, but I'll try and phone back later on the night. If not, it'll be tomorrow.
Lovely, lovely to hear you. And DINKY-DOO.
Okay, DINKY-DOO. Love you, buddy.
Love you lots, bud. Ta-ra now. There we are. That's our Martin. Now then, who have we got here? Hi, Scottie, says Martin. DINKY-DOO. Gordon Roddick. Hi, Scottie. Good to see you again. Wonderful, Gordon. Bless you. Absolute top man. Hi from Gordon and Oliver, says Gordon Robertson. They'll all be listening and watching the football tonight. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
It's David, Scottie. How are you, Mama?
Oh,
okay?
David, what a joy to hear you. I was so upset earlier about finding that our soap operas had been replaced by this football.
I agree. I'm sick of it.
You know, I mean, it's just, and I mean, it's of absolutely no interest to me at all.
Oh, Scottie, I'm the same.
You know, I put it on and there's some guy going, hey, well, I think he had a good game last week. And I think, I'm not interested. I want to see what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the thing is, I don't mind the ones that wants to watch it.
But I mean, that's up to them. Put it on a dedicated channel.
That's what I said to you already. Put it on.
Put in a dedicated channel. Or David, you have it once a week. You go on a Saturday afternoon. You can take your son or your daughter, and it's a $5 to get in, and that's it.
I'll tell you why they'll do this on STV, Scottie, because...
Well, we'll not go on to which channel, David. It doesn't matter.
Okay, right,
we'll not pick out a particular channel. All I'm saying is... No, you're absolutely fine. Don't worry. I was just heading you off at the pass there, as you know.
Yeah,
no.
I think they're making money out of it.
Well, I'm sure they'll be making money, but I mean, the point is, we need to see our soap operas.
Oh, damn. I'm missing my soaps.
You know, absolutely. I cannot actually believe that football gets watched more than soap operas.
It's crazy. isn't it? Honestly,
Because I mean, you know, 22 guys kicking a ball about, or a plot. Which would you rather? You know?
Yeah, of course. And Wee Martin, I love Wee Martin. He was talking about.
He's a soul. He's great.
He's a lovely wee guy.
Nice guy, nice guy.
Yeah, and I'm sick of all these idiots texting you.
These trolls asking, are you Muslim? Do you shop at this? Did I see you crying? Can you reveal your feet? Have you done a poo? You know, I mean, what kind of half-wit has got the world's top talk show in front of them? And that's the best they can do.
Stupid people.
Silly idiots, you know? Anyway, maybe they'll grow up someday and learn.
Yeah, of course. And again, what shocked me...
And David, what an opportunity to miss. Can you imagine when you and I were wee, if somebody had said, would you like to talk to Arthur Montford, or would you like to just shout down the phone? You know what I'm saying?
I love to talk to people, and
we'd have been beside ourselves.
Yeah, I know, Scotty. It's great to talk.
And do you know what I loved in my life? I've had so many lovely things happen. Arthur Montford was a friend, and I used to just get a good blather to Arthur about anything else other than sport.
There you go.
And he was so nice. He would come up and he'd say, hello, how are you? Say, Arthur, how are you getting on? And we'd have a wee chat, you know.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Scottie, did you watch the big show on Saturday night?
We both had the same jackets, you see.
Yeah, of course. Wonderful. Do you know what I mean? Did you watch the big show the other night for the Poppy?
Oh yes, the remembrance everywhere. I was actually on air, David. So I didn't see it because we were on air at the same time as the Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance. But I've seen it so many times.
I recorded it. I thought you maybe recorded that show.
Right. No, I'll tell you, I've probably seen the better part of 55 or 60 of them.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I used to watch it every night because my mother lost her brother in the war. And she used to watch when the poppies fell.
Yeah.
And I would call her. If I was away working somewhere else, I would call her during the festival, you know?
Yeah.
And somebody was saying the other night, I think it was Angela, they used to do displays, and I'd forgotten about that. The young Royal Navy men used to strip down a gun carriage and run it from one side of the hall to the other. Wonderful.
I mean, these people done a great job for people to this day, you know?
Oh, just amazing. I mean, you think my own father, they're 18 years of age.
Wow, so your father passed, obviously, as well. He passed.
No, he lasted. He survived the war. He's gone now.
That's good. He's gone now, yes.
He survived the war. He's gone now. And yet last week on Facebook, somebody was on saying, I met your father many times. And my old boss and him joined up at the same time. And it was lovely to have that connection, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing, honestly, isn't it? It's wonderful.
David, isn't this lovely? Wait to hear this. You can't be trolling Scottie.
No, you can't troll
This is what they're saying on the TikTok. Hello, Scottie, how are you?
I'm not having that.
Isn't it lovely?
Scottie. Doing the Swanee.
Doing the Swanee, that's what they're all shouting. Just send these idiots doing the lavvy.
I did a lavvy.
Greetings from Inverkip, and there's somebody from Denmark. David, this is what I love about this. We've got somebody from California, somebody from Texas, somebody from Glasgow, somebody from Inverkip.
Oh, California? Seriously?
Yes, they're all on there. Listen, I had Texas on earlier. And this morning, I got up early this morning, and you'll see it. You'll see it on the YouTube. I did what we call the early bird, the red eye.
The early bird, Scottie. See the early bird? I need to get in my bed for that.
The early bird. I need to get out of my bed for that. I woke up this morning, I thought, I need to go and do an early bird.
Yeah, I goodness.
Here's a lovely person saying, what's your favourite whiskey? Well, none of them, because I don't drink alcohol.
There you go. But Scottie, you were saying last night you like a wee cider. Well, you
No, I used to like, I'll tell you what happened. I used to drink beer, and I would wake up in the morning and I would have a bit of a head on me. And I would think, well, and people would say, good night, was it? I would say, you see, all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, when I get the dog, I was out walking the dog early in the morning. And then I thought to myself, I just thought that's how you felt if you did a drink. Then I went off the beer when I went to Yorkshire, which has got the best beer in the world, and I went on to cider. And I thoroughly enjoyed my cider. And then about, I don't know, 7 years ago, I was trying to work out this units, how many units I'd had and when would I be able to drive. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to chuck this.
Okay.
So I just chucked it. And it's so interesting. You make a decision. And I thought, I'll just chuck it because I'm not needing it.
Right.
And what a difference, Davey.
Well, I do understand what you're saying.
You'd love it. You'd love it because you've never got a hangover.
Well, okay, I'm a cider drinker, so I am. I love cider, but I never get a hangover. I don't drink.
No, well, cider's quite good. If you can take to cider, you don't get it. But wait till I tell you this. A friend of mine lives in Devon. And this old boy went into the doctor. And the doctor says to him, how much? He goes, I beg your pardon? He says, how much do you drink? And the old Devon boy goes, about a gallon a day, you see? And he says to him, he says, well, you need to chuck it. And the guy said, how did you know? And the doctor said, I saw you coming in. He said, and I could see the way you were walking. The cider, the acid goes into your joints.
Oh, my goodness.
And makes it a wee bit difficult to walk if you have too much.
That's true.
Isn't that interesting? True. But here's a lovely one for you, David, right? A doctor was examining this lady. And he says to her, right, he takes his stethoscope off and he says, right, your heart and lungs are very good. He says, now I think we need to have just a wee look at that wee thing that gets a lot of ladies into trouble.
All right? I get you.
So she then says to him, do you want me to undress? He goes, no, I just need you to stick your tongue out.
Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, seriously, I get the wee thing, you know what I mean?
Aye, the wee thing that gets a lot of ladies into trouble, your tongue.
Yes.
Because you see, your tongue can tell the doctor a lot.
Oh, yeah,
if he gets a look at your tongue, if you got a wee crack in it, if you got a wee bit fur on it, you know, the whole thing.
It just shows you, I mean, as I say, don't get me wrong, like a wee cider.
Oh, yes, of course. David, listen, you're entitled to have anything you like.
Of course, my son.
Do you know, you deserve the very best of everything because you're a very nice man.
Yeah, so are you.
You know, and that's it. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the way it should be. And I think you and John there must have a right good laugh on a Friday night with a wee refreshment.
Me and John got a good laugh every night.
Aye, of course.
You know.
Of course. This is it. The doctor told me, though, David, I wasn't to get a shock. So I've had the mirror taken out the house.
What are you like, dear?
Then I had very serious hiccups and I rang the helpline. And they said, well, you actually, the best cure's a fright. So I had a look at my latest gas bill.
And a good fright.
Yeah, a wee fright, you know. Oh. You say that's cured your hiccups? You better go, dear boy. But listen, it's lovely to hear you. Take great care of your dear self. Tell John I'm asking for him.
But before I go, can I say hello to my friend Becky and her husband?
Of course you can.
Thank you, Scottie, the gas bill.
The gas bill. Dinky-Doo, Lala.
DINKY-DOO,
What a fine fellow. That's our Davy. Scottie, are you referring to the massacre of Glencoe, says Tom Levick. Yes, I was. I was, Tom. By the way, it's 1-0 to Scotland. I can hardly believe it. Mind you, that's a wee while back. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
It's Kareem, Scottie. How
Oh,
are you?
Kareem, my dear man. How are you tonight?
I'm not bad, thank you. Yourself?
Well, yes, I'm better. I'll tell you what, Kareem, I don't know if you've seen the YouTube tonight. I had a look at the Remembrance Service, the YouTube version, because you know we've got the TikTok one, and one's in landscape and one is in portrait.
Right, okay.
And I noticed that you could hardly see any of me. I was too close to the camera. So you were only getting a wee bit of the facade. So I've sat a wee bit further back. I don't know if you think it's better.
Are you talking about tonight just now?
Tonight, right now on the YouTube.
Well, I think I've seen it. You are a bit further back, but you know what? Do what's most comfortable for you, Scottie.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But it's just I look too close to the camera. You see, because I'm not using flashy equipment. If I've got, like a top-of-the-range camera, you can adjust everything,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I'm not knocking it because it's doing its job superbly.
Yes, no, Scottie, if it was right up at your face, seeing your eye, it wouldn't bother me at all.
No, and the thing is, Kareem, we are on the internet phone-in, both in sound and vision.
Absolutely, Scottie.
So, I mean, you can't really say fairer than that unless you can't pronounce your F's or your THs.
Agreed, Scottie. I totally agree. I've got a few wee things. I had to sit down and think about some current affairs, shall we say.
We love you, Scottie, from Darlington. Scottie, I've just joined the US Navy. Can you believe you watch soaps, Scottie? Come on, mate. That would cost the wee guy in the street a fortune to get that. You disappoint me by watching the soaps, says Coelho. Well, you've got a wee bit relaxation, Coelho. Fit like the day, fit have I stumbled on the neck. Hi from Andy and Falkirk. My mother feels Kareem talks for too long. Hello, Scottie. How are you, my good sir? So there we are. So don't you listen to that, by the way. I was just reading it out.
Yes, no, I find that quite interesting because people complain about people being on for too long, but when people phone in, they're more than happy to try and stay on for as long as they can.
Yes. I mean, Martin, bless him, was having a wee go yesterday about people being on longer than him. And, the thing is, if it's an interesting call, see, Kareem, I don't want to put a limit on calls because if we're having a really good quality call, you don't want to say, right, I know this call's superb, but I need to go now.
I know. You can judge when the time of the call's up, Scottie. You can think, right, we've had a good chat, now we need to move on.
Here's LaHoop from Ireland. I think Kareem is wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, can you see the balance in opinion?
Yes. Well, you can't please everyone. That's it.
No, but I think we please most of the folk most of the time. I mean, Kareem, tonight I did a pop-up just at tea time, just to let people know we were coming on tonight at 9 o'clock. And we hit the 3,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Excellent. Congratulations, Scottie. Well done.
Now, that's wonderful because I've had the YouTube a long time, but we've really just used it to store the Scottie McCLUE videos. Now, it's the main platform for the internet phone-in. Everybody needs to focus on that YouTube channel.
Next target's 10,000.
10,000. And I took out the hashtag FloatEye from the title because it was confusing people, I felt.
Right.
So now it just says Scottie McCLUE, the internet phone-in.
Nice and simple.
Nice and simple. Definitely. That explains everything. It's Scottie McCLUE and it's the internet phone-in. End of.
Brilliant.
Because otherwise people are going about going, what does FloatEye mean?
Is that what goes in your eye, the FloatEye?
The FloatEye. Yeah, the FloatEye.
Scottie, I've got 3 quick wee questions. The first one would be, and it's for everybody as well, is it too early to put up your Christmas tree?
I don't think it's jelly. The only thing is, I'm trying to think, we take it down after the 12th day, don't we?
Yes.
Right. So we take it down around the 6th or the 7th of January.
Yes.
So why don't we put it up maybe 2 weeks before Christmas?
Yes. Right. Okay.
Somebody's saying 9 days before and 9 days after. Isn't that amazing? Kareem, what a superb response. We're on the phone in here. You've just asked a question. Somebody goes 9 days before and 9 days after.
I thank them. Yes.
LaHoop says, usually I would say yes, but because how horrible a Christmas we had last year, it's not too early.
Correct.
So he feels it might cheer some folk up to have a wee bit colour.
The earliest I've done it, Scottie, I didn't put any Christmas decorations up at all last year because of you-know-what that we were all going through. So I thought, it's not a proper year. I'm not putting them up.
Good for you.
A couple of years ago, I just got so much into the festive spirit.
Wonderful.
I actually put it up after Guy Fawkes. Straight after bonfire night.
Straight after bonfire night, you put your tree up. Well, you see, a lot of people nowadays put fairy lights on bushes in their gardens and things. And some people try to outdo their neighbours with Santa and all that stuff. But I feel just a few lights. Good evening, Scottie. How's things, my good friend? Hope you are, can't just see that. 2 seconds, Kareem. This is from John Garvey. John's an amazing man. Hope you're well. Good to listen to you. Gordon Robertson. Oh, he's not in Denmark. They're playing Denmark.
Yes,
right. I thought somebody was in Denmark. Scottie, your head's well above the banner tonight. That's much better, says Charlie Johnson. Iceland here. There's Helga. Helga is in Iceland. We love it, Helga. And there we are. Good evening, Scottie. Put it up when you feel like putting it up. Job done, says Michael.
Yes.
What about the feed? I love the feedback. 12 days before Christmas is far too American nowadays. First weekend in December for me, all decorations go up, says Beachy Beachy, and Beachy Beachy's got his head pretty well screwed on properly.
Yeah. I just find it interesting to see what you and the listeners would, because everybody has it at different times, you know, and they have their reasons.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Oh, plenty of reasons.
My second wee point could be a bit controversial, and I'm sure there'll be some people that will have their opinions on this.
Right.
But I was just thinking about earlier on reading a lot of the news, and I spoke to someone about this the other day. So my question would be, should prisoners lose their right to vote and also allowances? Because I was speaking to someone and he said, I work in the prison. I was like, oh, are you a prison guard? No, I work in the shop. Prisoners get an allowance every week and they can come into the shop and they buy things, whatever they want.
Well, I think you'll probably find that the prices are quite low and the allowance is very small. They used to get tobacco and things like that. I'm quite mixed about this. You see, I mean, life in jail at the moment's pretty hell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure of that. Now, you'd say, well, if you're a crim, you deserve hell. Now, the crims used to write to me a lot. I got batches of letters wherever I broadcast, whether it was Manchester, Strangeways, Liverpool, Walton, Sheffield, Preston, Glasgow, Berlin, Sochten. All the prisoners would write because they loved Scottie McClue, because they had radios at night. They had no television, but they had radios and they were able to hear the entertainment.
Yes.
So they were big fans of Scottie McClue, and I used to have to curb their enthusiasm when they would say, Scottie, see if you ever have any bother with him, you just give us a shout. I would say, no, you're fine, no problem. You know what I mean?
You have your honours, as they say, you're honoured well.
Aye, so that was stuff. Somebody's got your back, son. So it was all that, but they would write me letters because the letters were censored. They would be stamped by the censor, and very often they would tell me that they shouldn't be in there because they hadn't done it. And I remember speaking to a governor who said, "Oh, absolutely, Scottie, I've got 500 innocent men in here," you know, all that good stuff. And they used to come on and go, "Scottie, we're no daft. Some of us are very clever." I says, "Look, if you're that clever, what are you doing in the top bunk?" You know, and this was the whole thing. But I think that with freedom comes responsibility. And I think if you are a criminal, then you forfeit your rights in society. So I don't think they should be voting, because voting is democracy, and people have fought for democracy and fought to get the vote. And what you're doing is throwing that back in people's faces by raiding some old lady's house, maybe harming her, taking something that you can sell to get a fix. Now, our problem that we've got, all this gets very, very coloured and shaded because of drugs and alcohol and substances and things like that. Because very often when people are committing a crime, they're not in the right mind. And that's doubly dangerous.
Yes.
You know? So from that point of view, we need to get the message across to crims. Do not be a crim. You need to learn to stop it.
Right. So basically you're saying if you're a criminal, and it doesn't matter what your crime is, minor or major, if you're in prison, you lose that form of democracy.
If you're in the slammer, then you should actually lose the right to vote.
No, that makes sense, Scottie.
Because what you've done, you've forfeited your rights by breaking the law. You know what I mean? And all this idea you'll no get caught, there's every chance you'll get caught. No videos do better on internet than seeing some wee guy trying to break into a house and then the fuzz turn up and just give him a good battening. And everybody goes, "Oh, have you seen a layer? Oh, it's brilliant, that." You know, and you see the guy thinking, "Oh, what was I thinking?"
Yeah. No, I completely agree, Scottie. I think that's all. It's fair and valid.
So I think the crims need to get the message. Let's stop crimming.
Yeah. Although it'd be interesting that probably the majority, and it's just a guess, a lot of them probably will vote Labour down south. So, and I can't see any of the political parties imposing that because they're going to lose votes. Maybe that may be something the Tories might want.
What imposing? You can't see them imposing what? That they don't get their vote.
Yeah, like if they put that in, like a law that if you're in prison, you lose the right.
No, you've got anybody in. I mean, you've got the Afghanites in prison, so you've got what was known as the working class Tory.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh yes, yes. There's some quite right wing characters in the criminal fraternity, apparently.
Right.
So I don't think you're talking. I don't think you're talking a new socialist revolution in the slammer.
Right.
You know, these guys think they're in the right. They can't understand how they got caught and how these horrid fuzz caught them.
Right. Okay.
You know, so I think you've always got, it was the Afghanites that took us out of Europe. Hey, give us our country back, waving the Union flag. They took us out of Europe and completely damaged this country beyond belief.
Well, and it's growing.
You know?
But my last 3 points, Scottie, before I go, was it was earlier on when you did pop up and I was having a wee listen at tea time and somebody asked, you read out, do you think there'll be any difference with COP26? And you said it's too early to tell.
Yes.
And I was having a wee think about that. And to me, I think it's very mixed because we've spoke briefly on it before that I think if there's going to be any type of change, what's going to happen in our society and community, it's not us, the normal people, but the big businesses that are going to have to really buckle up their ideas. the plumber that I had in at the weekend was speaking about it, and he says the amount of pollution these factories are causing, we the normal people don't even produce as much as they do.
No,
so if they
no.
cut
I
that
mean,
down,
out in India and China and America, these, you know, these big industrial plants just absolutely pumping it out.
24 hours a day, and if they cut that down, then, you know, that's going to make us reach the target at least, or be in, let's say, intensive care for looking after the 1.5, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, here's Cool Diesel. In the USA, felons lose their rights to vote, and rightly so.
Well, there you go then.
There's John Marshall. I always thought it was 12 days before Christmas and taken down 12 days after Christmas. P.S. 2-0 to Scotland, Scottie.
Brilliant. But the last bit of that, Scottie, is that what was disappointing about COP, I was just listening, Nicola Sturgeon challenged all the countries and gave 1 million at the start, and China didn't put any money down, America didn't put any money down, Russia didn't put any money down, and at the end, from their own Scottish budget, their own Scottish money, she put another 1 million down. And one of the big directors within COP26 said that she's the absolute hero, and she wasn't even, she may be hosting it, but obviously Boris Johnson was the leader of the UK. I think he was pretty much saying that Nicola Sturgeon done an outstanding job.
Oh, of course she did. I mean, she always does, actually. She's very, very good. And I think that's probably makes, you know, the likes of the London administration quite anxious, the English administration quite anxious.
Yeah.
What did you think, though, about these cheeky middens about the Queen today?
What, could you remind me, sorry, Scottie?
Well, you'd sent me a wee acknowledgement on another platform.
Yes, I sent you 2 stuff about, yes. I think it's quite interesting. Like, I'm concerned about her health. I'm hoping she's resting well, but it concerns me that she's not going to do any duties until after the New Year.
Yes.
But yeah, again, it's around the corner, I suppose, New Year.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Listen, I'll be here in the flash. Look, we're the middle of November. In another 4 weeks, will be the middle of December.
Yes. So, and she's 95. She needs to rest. And,
she is. She's in her 96th year. You know, she'll be 96 in the spring.
Yep. Yeah. I hope she's doing the right thing. I hope she's resting, and she'll be getting the best treatment and care anyway. So she's in the best place to be.
Oh, absolutely. But I just think these idiots cheeking up with complete ignorance. One of them said to me tonight, I think you should do a bit of research into the monarchy. I said, well, I've done 50 years. I'm an acknowledged expert.
Well, Scottie, I wouldn't even Google search it. I just need to ask you, and then I'll get all the
We'll
facts.
give you the detail. I know you'll be avoiding asking me. There's an update from Gordon Robertson, full-time Scotland, 2-0 Denmark.
That's an outstanding result.
What about that? 5 weeks
Yep.
till Crimbo, says Beachy. Do you like Port Glasgow? Says Chloe, check out the TikTok videos.
Yep.
There's one in Port Glasgow.
See that. But just to finish off, Scottie, the thing I was saying about the COP26, a test that's going to be for the Tory government. You know, up north, they've got the oil field, and the Scottish government obviously don't have anything to do with it. It is up to Westminster and Boris Johnson.
Yes.
There was a professor said today they have 3 options, and it's really going to test them to see if they're really making sure they're putting pollution at the heart of policy to make sure that they're tackling it. There's 3 options. The first one is they're going to deny it, so they're not going to do drilling at all. The second one is they're going to allow it 100%. Or the third one is which he said, and I agree with to an extent as well, if you're going to allow them to do the drilling, however, they have to clean up the mess and whatever it is they need to do, which should be common practice. If you're putting water, when you put dirty water, it gets cleaned before it goes back out to the sea or sewers or wherever it goes. That should be the exact same for what they're going to be doing for the drilling. And I would put it as a condition that do not pass the extra costs on to the consumer. That should be just standard practice, that you clean your mess that you make.
Yes.
I don't know if that's...
No, I think that's a
really,
very
really
fair point.
interesting.
And I shall put this to the nation. Kareem, we better dash. Lovely to hear you.
Thank you for your time, Scottie.
Hey,
Okay.
and yours, Dinky-Doo La. Fantastic. That's our Kareem. Fantastic call. Now, who have we got? 2-0 to the mighty Scotland. And William Cahoon, remember, you can never make comments like that because you don't know if there's anything in it. All right, absolutely. And it can't be discussed at the moment. Right. You're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
It's David again.
Oh, David, lovely to hear you.
Right, I'm concerned about what Kareem said. Kareem's a fantastic guy.
Great call.
Yeah, he's a great coach. But Boris Johnson at the start of COP26, he says pollution. He came to Glasgow on the first week on that COP26, right?
Right.
And then he flew back to London.
Yes.
On pollution, and flights, and he said to other people, "Get the train home." And he came back into Glasgow, was it last week, on a train. Now he's, okay, there's pollution in the air all the time. You know, there's plenty of pollution, there's pollution in cars. I mean, I told you years ago what happened to me. I had pollution, I was a staying citizen in Glasgow, etc., right? And one time I was taken to hospital, they found a pus under my liver when I had pneumonia.
Yes.
By pollution, etc., right? So, but pollution, Scottie, will not change. It's concerning, Scottie.
Well, I think, I mean, the Earth does have self-cleaning abilities, but they need to have a chance. If you're going to keep pumping it out, then the Earth's going, listen, I can't cope with all this.
Of course. This isn't even serious. I mean, I'm usually laughing my head off.
I know. There's 2 seconds, Davey. There's Coco Stewart says, how do I call in? You go to the YouTube channel. You'll see it below the TikTok bio, and you subscribe and tap the bell and phone me.
His name's Coco.
Coco. Yes, Coco is lovely.
Coco, come on then. Come on, Coco. Come on, Coco.
Is that lovely?
Yes.
What a fabulous name. There we go. Anyway, where did we get to?
Scottie, do you think you're a smart man? Things will change? Come on now.
Yeah, well, no, I think things can change, but it needs everybody to get into it. There's no point in coming to the conference and paying lip service and saying, yes, we'll certainly cut down on coal, and then say, but can we just kind of phase it out rather than actually take it out?
Well, India doesn't want to change their coal.
No, but you see, the thing is, Britain used to run 75% of the world's coal up until the First World War.
Right, I understand what you're saying, but again, right, think back, Scottie, the West End has got coal. Mind old coal fires?
Yes, mind old coal, of course I do.
So people in West End will say, we still want coal as well.
Well, yes, absolutely. You can't beat a coal fire.
You can't beat a coal fire, Scottie, that's correct.
You know, it's a lovely thing, and if somebody's no well, it's terrific for drawing the chill out of them, you know.
And I mean, we go to West End often, we see all the old chimneys, all the smoke coming out.
Oh, you used to see all that, absolutely, and what have you. And even when they did up all the tenements, they said, you want to keep your fire.
Oh, bloody hell, I said the tenement, Scottie, like yourself, and I love the coal fires, you know, but so people coal fires won't accept that. Does that make sense, Scottie?
Yes, of course it is, absolutely. And also, I was thinking about people in the country who like to burn wood and like to burn peat.
Yes.
Do you see what's going to happen there?
What a debate. What a debate.
Oh, my goodness, David. Never a dull moment. What a fabulous programme.
Yeah. Right, I better let you go.
You better, because otherwise they'll be doing their nut.
Right. La,
Dinky-Doo, La. Love you lots.
Love you lots. Bye.
Bye, La. There we are. That's your Davy. Fantastic. What have we got here? Congrats to Scotland, says Helga in Iceland. Is that not beautiful? When did you last see a chimney sweep, says David? I think the last time was at a wedding, David. They're very popular at weddings. You're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO, Scottie.
Ah, Glenn, how are you, La?
I'm still getting, I've just been watching You know what?
Yeah, the football.
I have, yeah.
Tut, tut, tuttity, tut.
Good win for you guys, though, Scott.
Good win for Scotland, absolutely. But you see, I think it should only be on a Saturday afternoon between 3 and 5.
England have won 10-0, Scottie.
10-0.
Yeah.
10-0.
10-0.
Who were they playing?
San Marino.
And had they got a full team on the field?
Just about, Scottie.
Right. Did they know that the whistle had gone for kickoff?
I think they had, yeah. They must have had one or two.
I don't know.
What they do, though, Scottie, they play semi-professional. They've got jobs in between, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, it's great stuff. But I mean, 10-0, that's some result.
It is.
Particularly for England.
Definitely. It's like
I mean, they're usually coming back with their tail between their legs, aren't they?
9 times out of 10, Scottie, when they get to latter stages.
You know, 10-0, I mean, my goodness me.
Yeah, that's a bit of a good one, Scottie, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good, you know.
But Scotland have got seeding now, you know, for playoffs.
Yeah.
Scotland's seeded for playoffs to qualify for next year's World Cup, so good luck to you.
Yes. No, I think I'd have brought the goalie on at half-time.
And they had 2 penalties. England had 2 penalties and they hadn't even had a player sent off.
Gee.
You'd think when they're playing against the smaller nations...
Nobody giving it the red card and all that, no?
1 red card, yeah.
Yeah, and a wee bit of argy-bargy?
A little bit, yeah.
A wee bit argy-bargy.
You'd think referee would be a bit lenient on these minnows, wouldn't you, Scottie? You know, these smaller nations.
Yes, I think, yes, we need to. That's right. The mighty San Marino, they're all saying here.
Yeah, precisely. It's no biggie, but scoreline's just...
Anyway, listen, you're discussing football on my show. Let's stop it.
That's my lot of football. All riff-raff anyway about football. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it now. We're not wasting our time with football. We need to hear what's happening in soap operas.
Yeah, Scottie, exactly. But I phoned you up originally.
Hey, wait to hear this, Glenn. Hang on a minute. Charlie Johnston, when Scottie's on, TV gets switched off in my house. That's what we want. That's the way to do it.
Bring a Diana film out again, Scottie.
The what, lovey?
Another Diana film.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Why can't they leave that poor lassie alone?
Precisely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
She suffered enough during her life.
Definitely. I think she was a beautiful woman where she's got.
Yeah, lovely girl. Lovely girl, yeah. Diana.
It's these big time film producers again, isn't it?
Yeah, they need to bring out the McCLUE, the movie.
McCLUE, the movie star.
McCLUE, the movie, that's the one.
I'm trying to think who you could... Attenborough.
Here's Coelho giving it. Hilda Ogden's just scored against San Marino. That's terrible, isn't it?
Corey's not been on tonight anyway, or Emmerdale's not been on either, so it's...
Coco says, would you be okay if I were to phone in and discuss the war on drugs? I think it depends what you're saying. The domino effect on the prison system. Do you ever have trouble with accents? Great Britain has so many, that would be great.
You know, I was just thinking, you know, I've never touched prostate drugs or anything.
No.
Personally, but they go down a bad path, some people, don't they?
Well, they do. They for some reason, they try these and they don't realise what addiction's about.
I went to school with a couple of little lads. And
I mean, one of the reasons I've never, ever gone anywhere near them because I remember what it was like with cigarettes.
One of them went to school with me anyway and sad end to one of them and another one passed away recently, so
it's heartbreaking though, isn't it?
Of course, they're a different side of you see a different side to them, don't you?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. And the other thing is, you know, sometimes it's quite respectable families in the city. Yeah. You know, the people lower their voices. You know, they lost a son actually through drugs.
It's the family they've left behind, though, Scottie, to be fair.
That's it. People, have you noticed people lower their voices?
You've got to respect, innit?
You know, you say, oh, she's a fantastic woman. You said, she is, but that poor lady, they lost a son through drugs.
Precisely.
You know?
But they've had a good life with the families, when they start good in them, I suppose.
Ah, well, this is it. But I mean, you know, I mean, it's no life. I mean, that's no life at all. Somebody says
Right.
George Clooney as Scottie.
Brendan O'Carroll as Scottie.
Well, I've got Scottie McCLUE movie. Scottie could be played by Gregor Fisher.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Rabsy Nisbet. Addiction hooks so many good people, then they destroy the whole family.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Crazy stuff. Glenn, I'm going to have to dash, lad. Take care of yourself, Lovey.
Enjoy yourself anyway, Scott.
And you look after you and DINKY-DOO, lad.
And your DINKY-DOO, Scott.
DINKY-DOO, top man now, Glenn. That's him. There we are. Helga says, go on, Kareem. Fantastic. Right, to the telephones as quickly as possible. We've got just under 10 minutes. What's your views on the legalization of drugs? I like the concept of taking the drugs away from the crims, but I don't know about legalizing drugs. Why do we need drugs at all? If you want a proper high, then nothing. Woo! You're live on Scottish Funny. Who's that? Is that you, Martin?
Yes, buddy. How are you?
Very well, yes. How's it going?
It's been a very interesting night tonight regarding talking about the Queen, talking about the prison service, talking about football. It's been
wow, look at this.
Oh.
Jordan Palmer says James Cosmo would be a great one to play Scottie. And so he would. What a fabulous actor.
No way.
Yes, I remember his father. His father was a great man as well.
Cool.
Now then.
Yeah. So what do you think's been the best night?
Oh, Martin, you can't say every night's been different. They've all been outstanding.
I know.
Do you know that this is show number 79?
Wow.
Tomorrow is show 80.
And it's very, very scary. It's 5 weeks to Christmas, mate.
Now, I'm getting beautiful presents here on TikTok. I've just been sent 11 red roses by Leslie Davis. Is that not beautiful?
Lovely.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What about this? I think Kareem, Martin, and your man are all the same.
What do you mean?
Well, they mean that they think that Kareem and you are me doing an impersonation.
Really?
Aha.
Wow.
They think that I'm doing you and Kareem.
Wow. That's a bit strange.
Is that? There's a half-wit saying a very strange thing. It's show 79 if you get...
Maybe you should put him doing the Swanee.
Doing the Swanee with these people.
Yes, so rude.
What about this? Here's Frank Meyer. Good morning, Scottie DINKY-DOO from Australia. How's the first lord of the internet? Isn't that beautiful? You're being listened to in Australia, Martin. You've been listened to all over the world. Wow.
So are you quite happy? It's 5 weeks of Christmas.
Oh, well, I mean, what am I going to do about it? Change it.
Because the thing is, Kareem says to me, are you allowed to put your Christmas tree up?
Yes.
Mine has been up since September, mate. And I started all my shopping in
September?
Yeah.
You put a Christmas tree up in September?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Because of all the COVID carry on.
When do you take it down then?
I take it down the 8th of January, buddy.
Wow, September, October, November, December. You've got it up for 17 weeks.
Yes, buddy.
Wow.
That's why I love Christmas.
There's Stephen. Stephen says hello. He's in Spain. I love it. They're watching in Spain.
Lovely. Spain. Wow.
Did you hear a call the other night from James? And he says that he thinks this internet phone-in will just explode.
What do you mean explode?
Well, once people get to know it's on, it will just go through the roof figures-wise.
Yeah, yes.
Because it's very, very popular. There's Aaron saying, congratulations on 3,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel.
Wow.
So everybody watching on YouTube right now, subscribe and tap the bell to get your notifications. If you're a TikToker, go to my TikTok bio, and there's the link for the YouTube channel. Go on and subscribe and tap the bell. Almost 5,000 people have liked tonight on TikTok. Isn't that beautiful?
So, do you think the Queen should drop down her duties or continue?
No, I mean, she can't continue if she's not well. She's nearly 96. She just lost her husband. You know, I mean, if she wants a bit of peace and quiet, absolutely a reward at the end of the most fantastic life of service. Because it's a very tough gig being the monarch. And these half-witted idiots that say, look at the money she's getting. She's virtually self-financing. She brings in fortunes. Leslie says, it will, people love you.
See the Christmas message every year. What is the Christmas message about?
The Christmas message, there were in that same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said, fear not, for unto us in the city of David this night a child is born, and his name shall be the Wonderful Counselor, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So it's the birth of the God child. It's the birth of Christ, the birth of Christianity.
Yes.
So it's very interesting. So Christians want to celebrate. Christians awake, salute the happy morn. You see?
Cool.
So that's really what the story is about, and you should know that if you're putting your Christmas tree up in September.
Yes, and I love your video of you playing the Queen's Anthem. I love that. That video you put up on YouTube as well. I like that.
Or taking the general salute.
Yes, the actual song now, the Queen's song now.
Yes, the national anthem, yes. I just put that one up last night for you.
Thank you, lovely.
Not at all. If you give a Christmas tree a spruce up, if you give a Christmas tree a clean, are you giving it a spruce up? Do you get that one?
Yes.
Spruce.
And Emma says we are going to get a real Christmas tree and add it to our living room.
Wow.
So 2 Christmas trees and lots of gifts.
I love it. Martin, I'm going to have to dash. We're nearly out of time.
Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I look forward to it. Dinky-Doo la.
Dinky-Doo, love you.
Love you lots and love to Emma.
Bye.
Dinky-Doo la. There we are. That's our Martin. Now, so much to do, so much to talk about, so little time to do it in. We've got less than a minute. We're going to have to say goodnight to our beautiful TikTokers. Jesus must have been born in October, as the Romans added a few months. Yes, October, the 8th month. Good night and God bless to our beautiful, beautiful TikTokers. That's us, guys. That's our TikTokers. There we go. And we've got about a minute left. Who's this? You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
It's David. Oh, Martin, September Christmas tree is amazing.
September? I mean, what's he at?
That's amazing. But there's people in England a long time ago put up like July. Seriously, Scotty,
July?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Everyone, but we didn't have trees, David.
Children playing.
Yes, absolutely. But David, we didn't have trees till Prince Albert brought them in from his garden at Rausnow in Bavaria.
What year was that then?
That would be probably, well, Prince Albert married Queen Victoria in 1841.
See, I didn't know this.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Maybe, no, that's right, 1841. And he was responsible, so Christmas with cards and trees is a Victorian thing.
That's amazing. Okay.
I'll
right,
tell you
right.
more about it, but we're right out of time. I'll have
I
to
know
say
you are,
dinky-doo.
my son.
Night,
You
night,
are.
la-la.
Night, la.
God
Scotty, and
bless
Merry
you, la-la.
Christmas.
Dinky-doo. There we are. Fantastic. Guys, we're right out of time. God bless you all. Good night and dinky-doo.